Should you take your blood pressure on your left side or your right side when it comes to getting accurate numbers? This has been a point of debate for a long time. Now, when I went to school over 30 years ago, this was the book that we used. This was the standard book in pretty much every single medical institution, chiropractic institution, osteopathic place ever. And the reason why the left arm was traditionally used is because your heart has an artery that comes out of it called the aorta. And what it does, it goes around and then goes down to the body, and it has all these branches. And the thought process was this, that the closer to the heart you can check the blood pressure, the better off you're going to be. In other words, you're getting an accurate representation of what the heart is feeling in terms of blood pressure. The left side, there were less divisions of arteries than there were to the right side. So the left side was traditionally where you would check the person's blood pressure. That was the correct side. Well, it turns out that some people may have blockages of different arteries. So now it's probably better to check both arms at least once to see if there's a radical discrepancy. And if there's a radical discrepancy of over 10, 15 points, then you need to look further into why would the left arm be normal, but the right arm is severely hypertensive. That would be a good question to find out. But the idea of checking both arms now, and you're going to love this, is you check both arms, and whichever number is higher, that's your blood pressure. And I just think to myself, who wrote that policy? I'm willing to bet that some pharmaceutical company is like, well, if we choose the one with the smaller number, they're going to be on less medications. Now, is this based on science or is this based on just policies that are made? Well, I looked this up and it turns out there isn't a whole lot of science behind it because blood pressure is so variable and there's so many issues of taking blood pressure incorrectly. Did you know, for example, that if you are sitting on a table and your legs are crossed, that might make your blood pressure 7 millimeters of mercury higher than it would if your feet were straight? A full bladder, stress, maybe the cuff is too tight. These are all factors that can radically change the numbers to the point where you can be diagnosed as hypertensive or not based upon whether your legs are crossed. Just as an example, imagine this. Imagine you went in for an MRI of the brain and they said, Mrs. Jones, you have a tumor. And then it turned out that if you just turned your head a little to the left, that the tumor was gone. You'd be pretty pissed. Because how is the test, the MRI test, so inaccurate that just by changing positions, you could be diagnosed with something or not? That is a problem. And that, unfortunately, is how blood pressure is. Now, the truth is, it's the best we have. We don't really have many non-invasive ways to know what the blood pressure is other than that. So, my general advice to patients is always think health, don't think numbers. We're not treating numbers. We're not treating you on a spreadsheet. We're treating a human being that needs to be managed to become a healthier person. So instead of focusing on numbers, focus on how to get healthy. But regardless of that, your blood pressure is a good indicator of cardiovascular health. So, if you're not sure which side to check it on, I'm going to say check it on the left. Once in a while, check it on the right. But the most important thing when deciding which arm to check is always be consistent. That is the most important thing. So you need to be able to check apples to apples, not apples to oranges. Some people will check their blood pressure on their left one day after they walked up a flight of stairs, freak out, and then get stressed, and then go, well, wait a minute, I'm going to check it on the right. And then they use their wrist monitor, and then the next time they do it after having breakfast or not. So I'm gonna leave for you this. At the end of the video, and hang tight just for a minute, there's gonna be a box right here of how to properly take your blood pressure in a consistent way that's accurate with the current science so that you can get accurate, valuable numbers. That's important, so hang tight. I wanna tell you though that you're probably not as interested in which arm as how to get better blood pressure. There's a supplement that I've been taking for a number of years. It's this one. It's called Nature's Pure Blend Nitric Oxide Flow. And what it has in it is L-arginine and L-citrulline. And both of these amino acids are necessary for producing more nitric oxide in our body. It allows our blood vessels to open up and become pliable so that your blood pressure goes down to more normal levels. It supports normal blood pressure. So there'll be a link down below in the description where you can get this stuff. I encourage you to read reviews of it, and you'd be surprised how many people have taken this supplement and lowered their blood pressure. So now, after you've done that, watch this video if you need to learn more about how to properly take your blood pressure.